You have to tell me about that one.
Jackson Brown.
Okay.
The Loadout.
The Load Out.
The Loadout. Singing to the crew.
L-O-A-D-O-U-T.
You got it. Singing to the crew as they talking about, we go all these places and all these shows and thank you for what you do on your loadout. You know, the loadout is when they take off.
Yeah, sure. That's cool.
I
like some Jackson Brown.
I mean, Jackson Brown.
I've got a couple of songs of his on my Spotify. I've got Late for the Sky. I think it's a beautiful song.
I saw Jackson Brown.
Oh, wow.
The Flaming Lips did a Guinness Book of World Record thing where they were trying to play so many shows in a 24-hour period, and they did it in the South.
Wow.
And one of the stops they made was Hattiesburg and Jackson. And I was actually in Jackson and played on their bus, my brother and I, on their bus, in the back of the bus.
On the Flaming Lips bus.
Mm-hmm. Grace Potter was in there. I think Steve-O was on the bus or something like that.
Playing, like jamming with each other?
No, we were just playing us in this little right back
How'd
here.
you end up on the bus?
Well, somebody got us on there. And then we rode to Hattiesburg. Their show was at like 6 o'clock in the morning there. And Jackson Brown was with them. And
You have the craziest story.
I
don't believe a word of it.
I promise. And we were sitting there in Hattiesburg at Benny's Boom Boom Room.
That's what it's called?
That's where they did their show in Hattiesburg.
That's the venue, Benny's Boom Boom.
Yeah, Benny's Boxcar. Ben Shimper, he's a good buddy of mine. We used to do a lot of business together. He did a lot for the music that I was playing. Let us play there a lot. But yeah, so, and I'm running around in there, you know, getting off the bus. I was.
I'm just going to have to do a whole episode of your stories. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson.
Great Measures.
A few days ago, May the 7th, I believe, we've done a couple of Falling in Reverse videos.
That we have.
Yeah. This is a new song that was dropped, kind of like the single drop, the announcement of their new album. I think it comes out like July 27th.
Oh, I get it.
I don't need to say drop. Too old for that. The song is called Ronald.
Ronald.
Ronald, Ronnie.
He named the song after himself.
So it would seem that way. It features the rapper Tech Nine, and it features Alex from Slaughter to Prevail, which we did a Slaughter to Prevail. We've done a couple of Slaughter to Prevail.
No, just one.
Just one.
But yeah, that guy wrestles grizzly bears.
He does. He does.
That's his actual claim to fame. It's not.
Demolisher is what we did.
It's not actually in the band.
Right.
It's his
viral videos
UFC grizzly bear career.
Bear wrestling, yeah. We're going to let you watch the video. Of course, in typical Falling in Reverse fashion, it's a very cinematic video, very epic. That'll be all.
That'll be all.
That'll be all. That's all I got.
Okay, then.
You ready?
I think so.
Proceed, Judson.
Here I go.
thinking the devil is making the crime of the people are evil and never know demon design is the opposite of a divine? No! Yes. The hell is in front of you, set behind. I can feel every sign of a human decline. I'm believing the time is upon us when all of our people are blind. Yo! Red rain, saw it falling from a tower's dead plane. Head bang, Mandalay Bay Hotel out of lead cane. Sex change could get you caught up in death range. He played sane, but really imitating Ed Game. How did we get this way? Nigga, that shit to say, but we get this way. Having a fit today, so they wanna make a bitch decay. My son's mom, when God, it was really wrong. I thought it was gone. The vomit, searching for my son, but I didn't go John Muhammad. So the devil's right here on this level, wipe tears. Cause when rebels ready to pop the heavy metal, I fear. Abomination, they've been faking, consecration, hating, wasting education. Got the killer on the killer, gotta chase him. Go! Spiraling out of control and deeper down the rabbit
Well, yeah. Good luck with that.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Just to the video is obviously inspired by movies such as Terminator 2.
Okay.
In the office scene there. The Matrix. I don't know what I was going to say there. The Matrix. When they jump out to the helicopter, and that's also in Terminator 2, jumping out to the helicopter from a building. And Terminator does, or the new Terminator does that, and he liquids through, and
yeah.
You've seen that. Mm-hmm. And then of course the Matrix. But then the demon at the end, which is a demon or the devil, one of the two, I don't know. From the Lord of the Rings. I mean that's a classic motif, the whole.
Yeah.
But without listening to the song again and really kind of, it's hard to figure out what it's about.
Right. Yeah. I've watched it probably 5 times, and I've done my best to like stay off. I mean, the subreddit theories of, specifically what it's about. I haven't really gone down that road because I wanted to have this discussion with you.
Well,
and not sway the conversation anyway.
He tends to be, and he likes his superhero thing and shooting lasers out of his eyes. He likes to make himself a superhero, which is cool, you know. Cool. I like the cinematic stuff because I'm a big fan of cinema. And, but at first listen, it sounds like he's going fully into damnation. Sounds like he's saying, screw it, I'm bound for this, I'm
headed this way anyways.
I'm headed this way, but there's a lot of, he mentions the 36 Chambers. Mm-hmm. That's the name of a Wu-Tang album.
It is.
So holla, woo.
One of the greatest albums.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot of stuff he mentions. I mean, the images in the Tech 9, who killed it.
Absolutely destroyed it.
Really says some controversial stuff, sort of in the whole Ed Gein thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Is we won't have to get into it, but I like the line where he said, "I'm believing that the end is near, when all the people are blind." Mm-hmm. That's very biblical. There's a lot of biblical stuff in there.
Yeah, I guess he's an angel in that.
He's got a crown of thorns on his head.
Okay, so he's Jesus.
He's Jesus.
Okay.
Which it seems like he's, and you may just be looking at a light and dark thing.
Yeah.
You may just looking at a sentiment of.
I like that Jesus sends Ronnie Radke to hell to fight the devil.
Well, that's
kind of the way I viewed it.
Yeah, well, that's sort of what I'm wondering is if it's actually a positive message to say this, because Tech 9 brought it up, at least in the sense of that it's a state of the world. And the first thing that Ronnie was singing in the beginning has to do with, it sort of indicated, everybody's sort of in the same place, walking on the edge.
Sure.
Reaching out from the light or something.
Yeah.
So that maybe he's talking about what he feels like the state of the world is in, sort of in a sense. And while
the walking on eggshells mentality of like tiptoeing the line, trying not to offend anybody, that type.
There, and then more so, it just feels like everything is going to shit. Everybody says that, right? We're just in a state of it's all, but it's always like that.
Right.
Everybody, you say that
way for a long time.
Yeah, as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
The end is coming.
Right.
We had this conversation the other day.
Yeah.
So maybe he's talking about that in the sense of understanding that that's where we're all. I really like to look at Tech Nine's verse more, because it throws a lot in there. But he obviously mentions there things that are current that are current. Mm-hmm. His feeling on things that are going on currently, and then. But I think he's playing the side of good in the sense of maybe it's just. Maybe it's just illuminating the great play of life, the good and the evil. When you see it that way, then that's what goes on. I was reading this book that you gave me the other day. It talks a lot about duality. When you accept that there's just evil, then there has to be good, and the other way. If you're like, well, there's all this good, then there's
right. You
have to accept that it's going on.
Sure.
So I wonder if it's sort of just propping up that on a stage, and then saying, because at the end he is fighting. He's
fighting evil.
He's fighting
the representation
he's
of
fighting
evil.
the devil.
Yeah.
So I see it sort of positively in a sense that maybe he's. I don't know. I would like to think that it's dismissing those things, sort of putting it out there, saying, "Look how ridiculous this duality is."
Yeah.
Because, without getting too far into it, what we talk about a lot and what I think is that there's a room behind those things. Mm-hmm. There's a stillness and a that the good and the bad are just you get to play with those if you want, but you can't have one without the other. So. Where the goal is to get to the dismissal of it all. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, and just be.
Just be, man. Mm-hmm. Just be.
Sure.
But I don't know. I mean, how can a being where he is in the beginning shooting lasers out of his eyes and and the other thing, the video shows a lot too, him going after technology. You see a robot there, mm-hmm. and I think even the guy in the helicopter may have been, he didn't look human.
Yeah.
Destroying we're fighting against the idea of what AI could do.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying.
Right.
And everybody admits that it's terrifying. Mm-hmm. And AI is telling us, we're probably gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And so I like the whole motif, even the Terminator. I mean, that's what the Terminator movies are about, from 1984, I think that movie may have come out.
Terminator 2.
Terminator 1. Terminator 2 came out in 91, 92, something like that.
84 sounds right. 82 maybe.
Isn't that weird that it came out in 1984? Mm. Anyway, if it did.
If it did. If we're right.
But, and did you know that they say that the Matrix and the Terminator are actually a carry-on of the same story? That Neo is, I'm gonna mess it up. There's some theory that obviously it's the machines, right? The machines took over. So then this is after what happens in Terminator went on. Anyway, it's pretty interesting. Okay. I like this. But what I was saying is maybe he's seen it as a destructive force. He's saying, "Screw it, I'm coming at you." Ronnie's saying, there's a thing he sings in there, "I'll never look back," and I don't know if he goes this far, but there's something biblical when Sodom and Gomorrah were being blown to hell. He said, "Don't look back."
Yeah.
And then Lot's wife does, and she turns into a pillar of salt. Well, that's all probably metaphorical anyway, like most things in the Bible. I feel like I don't know. I'm really interested in this.
for me, I've always kind of been like hit or miss with Falling in Reverse. I love the heaviness of the song. I did not expect that. But then you see Alex Terrible's in it. Obviously, there's got to be some heavy parts if he's in it, you know. I like the Tech Nine feature. I think that's just who Ronnie Radke is. Like, and I respect it because he's a polarizing figure, but he embraces that and doesn't sway his opinions. Whether you believe his opinions are right or wrong, I don't care. His opinions, his view of the world, whatever, however you want to view that, that's fine. Like, everybody's free to do what they want to do. No pushback from me. But he does get pushback in the world, you know, because of some of his takes on certain subjects and certain current events. Like, he's vocal, you know. And I like the fact that I think that's that song, that whole piece of music there, the song and everything. Even the music, I think, the heaviness of it, like Falling in Reverse does some heavy stuff, and I don't know their whole catalog, but I don't know that I've ever heard them do anything to that extreme on the heaviness level.
Well, if you're going to bring the grizzly bear wrestler in on something,
you better
bring some heat.
Some
you better not ask
breakdowns.
him to come in on a Jackson Browne song.
Yeah. I don't know. This kind of took I wasn't just a massive fan of them anyways. Like I said, no disrespect to them or anything, but like the ones we've listened to, I think so far, you know, they're very like piano ballad heavy type stuff. But I like the fact that he's embracing who he is as an individual. And I think that's the theme of the song is like, hey, this is who I am. Obviously he's doing a commentary on the state of the world and the state of the culture of the environment, you know, whatever. But it's also, I'm here to fight back against what I believe is wrong.
Yeah.
Because he does have takes about what he thinks is wrong and right, you know.
And that's fine. I like that. I think I think I would rather, I'm more drawn to people that have a definite opinion, even if it changes later.
Yes. Even if they go back 5 years from now and go, you know, I was wrong about that. Yeah. Like, I respect that even more.
All the philosophers that I like flip-flopped on what they're at, and they champion this idea, and then they're like, well, I don't know, I think the opposite now. But that comes from learning. I mean, that's good. That shows that people are having experience. And if you, even if I think you're wrong, even I don't know all of his views. Again, the lyrics that I'm able to recall right now, I'm thoroughly intrigued by the guy, because I think but I always think this, that artists, if they're good, not if they're good, but if they're worth their salt, then they're putting, it's an onion. It's everything means something that has, you know, that's ambiguous, that has, it could mean this, it could mean this, it could mean this, and then it could mean whatever you want it to mean. I'm not sure about that all the way with him, because he's pretty, it's not so Beatles-esque, you know, just abstractism for you to just, you know, whatever, yellow man of custard dripping from a dead dog's eye. I still don't know what that means, and I don't even have my own interpretation of what that means. That's I Am the Walrus by the Beatles. You know, he uses a lot of biblical stuff. And I like that, because I think the Bible's misunderstood. I think it's more, I don't want to get into what I think it is all the way, but I think that people have the balls to do that, or if a woman's doing it, the boobs to do it.
Sure.
So, you know, the courage to do that, then I think it's worth listening. It's worth paying attention to see. Yeah. And with all the images that just the video has in it, you know, I mean, it starts out on an airplane. You know, Boeing's got some problems these days.
Reckon they do. I
mean, it seems like a newsreel. He's kind of showing a newsreel, and he's showing things that are polarizing in a cinematic form, which I so dig. I like that about them. At first I thought it was sort of cheesy that he's making himself a superhero, but then I was like, I want to be a superhero.
Right, yeah.
And I dig it. It really focuses on him a lot. The band and their imagery is just him.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like the fact that the guy has tattooed himself black in certain places because he's a white dude. And I think he's making his body the yin and the yang in a way. I could be totally wrong about this, but that's how I'm going to take it for now. And I don't know, I think that he might be trying to represent the line in the middle of the yin and the yang, trying to say, let's get here. At least that's what I hope he's saying.
Okay.
But yeah, the addition of Tech 9 is awesome.
Yeah.
And then of course Alex, but whenever somebody can, I want to go back and read what Tech 9 said, but and that guy can do it. That guy
he can go
throw it at you for sure. So I think that certainly made me way more interested musically in the song.
Yeah.
And it fits so well in I don't know. Yeah, the song was heavy. I dug the heaviness.
Yeah, if there's anything that I took from it, probably the biggest thing that I took from it is it just showcased Ronnie's range even more.
And I was going to say that. I was thinking that when we were listening. I liked his voice.
He can literally do everything.
I liked his voice in this, but I haven't heard much of his voice this way.
Yeah.
And I could understand what he was singing most of the time.
Yeah.
I wasn't so put off by his use of expletives.
Yeah.
If you use them good, I mean, it's the English language, or it's language. So, but anyway, I think that's all. I was trying to remember.
Okay.
Woo! Shout out to the Wu-Tang Clan, bruh.
36 Chambers. Cool. Thanks for watching, everybody. We are Great Measures. My name is Richard. This is Judson.
Great Measures.
That was Ronald by Falling in Reverse.
Sure was.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.